Okay, who would like to first read this? Volunteer. Krishna Kumari.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Agyana, that one, no, not Ajana. Agyana.
Ajnana. No.
Agyana. G. Instead of J, you must pronounce G.
Agnana. Oh, sorry.
Jana.
Dhyana.
Yeah.
Dhyana. Oh.
Okay.
Can Prabhuji read? I follow.
Okay. Om Agyana Timirandasya.
Om
Again.
Ajnana Timirandasya
Janan Jana Salakaya.
Jnana Nanjana Salakaya
Chakshur Unmilitam Yena.
Chaksur Unmilitam Yena
Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha.
Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama. Okay. Thanks, Prabhuji. I was born in the darkness, ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mantra prayer.
Yeah, you can do this.
Um,
No.
I
Okay,
think,
I'll do it too.
mantra prayer to AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Paschatya Desa Tarine.
Paschatya Desha Tarini. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual masters, servant of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidalism.
Speak louder. Come nearer to the mic.
Okay. Pancha Tattva Mantra Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadantara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara, Sri Vasa, and all others in the line of devotion. Maha Mantra. Maha means great and mantra means sacred chant for deliverance. All mantras in the Vedas, one is called the Maha Mantras or great mantras. Hare Krishna, Hare. Sorry?
Come nearer the mic. Your voice is fading away.
I'm really. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The words Hare pronounce Hare, Krishna pronounce Krishna, and Rama written with Rama are Sanskrit words. Hare is unaddressed to God's energy known as Radha, and Krishna is name of God, meaning he who is attractive to everyone. Rama means one who gives pleasure and enjoys life. When chanted, the Maha Mantras is a petition to God. O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So today we are doing chapter 15, level 2. It's a short chapter. So let's proceed. We take the blessings of Shri Gaur Nitai. Gaurachandra is on the right, Nityananda is on the left. We can also call Mahaprabhu is on the right, Nityananda on the left. Mahaprabhu has many names. So he's also called Gaurachandra, Gaurachandra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's also called Nimai, his name from birth. Okay, so many names for him. And then we take blessings of Shri Radha Krishna. And also we chant the mantra. Who would like to chant the mantra? The Om Namo Bhagavate one. Someone can lead today.
Can I, sir?
Yeah, can.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
This is Krishna Balaram. Krishna is on the right and Balaram is on the left. We also take blessings from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is actually very kindly led the mission of Krishna conscious, preaching Krishna to everyone. Because of them, we are all benefited. We took so much trouble and time and energy at the age of very old age to go and preach, because he wanted to please his spiritual master. And by pleasing his spiritual master, we got a lot of benefit also. Because the spiritual master said, go to the Western country and preach. So he had faith. So the same faith that he had in the spiritual master, if we have faith in him and in Krishna, our life will become successful. And the same faith we have in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So there was once I was seeing someone talking. He is in India and he's talking to a Muslim guy, Muslim preacher. So then he was saying that Krishna is not God, Allah is God. So you see, even they themselves are not very understand. And the Muslim preacher is saying, no, Krishna is written in Bhagavad Gita as God, because the Muslim preacher has spoken to a lot of ISKCON devotees, and then this fellow said, no, Krishna is not God. Krishna is a superhuman being. So you see, and Allah is God. So you see how misguided our Hindu people are. They don't even know that Krishna is a supreme God. Okay, who would like to read this? Volunteer, who is here?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please. Come.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Out
Hare
of
Krishna.
your voice
Okay.
is very
That destination is called the Sanatana sky, the eternal spiritual sky, Yad Gatvana Nivanteta Dhama Parmam Mama. In this material world, we find that if everything is temporary. It comes into being, stays for some time, produces some byproducts, dwindles, and then vanishes. That is the law of the material world. Whether we use as an example this body or a piece of fruit or anything. But beyond this temporary world, there is another world of which we have information. That world consists of another nature which is Sanatana eternal. The Jiva is also described as Sanatana eternal, and the Lord is also described as Sanatana in the 11th chapter. We have an intimate relationship with the Lord, and because we are all qualitatively one, the Sanatana Dharma or sky, the Sanatana Supreme Personality, Lord, and because we are all qualitatively one, the Sanatana Dhamma or sky, the Sanatana Supreme Personality, and the Sanatana living entities, the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatana occupation or Sanatana Dharma, which is the eternal occupation of the living entity. We are temporarily engaged in different activities, but all of these activities can be purified when we give up all these temporary activities and take up the activities which are prescribed by the Supreme Lord. That is our pure life.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
So the
Hare Krishna.
destination is called Sanatan sky. That means Sanatan means eternal. So what is eternal is the spiritual sky. So then material world things are not eternal, it is temporary because the material world comes to an end at the end of Kali Yuga. So then all the things will get destroyed, and even when before even the end of this world, there is also things die. We die, animals die, trees die, and new ones get born. But this is not the same in the spiritual world. We are there, always there. It is eternal, here is temporary. With the soul here, we are eternal, the soul, but we take on the covering of the temporary world. So then we are using the temporary world, and we are trying to actually come to a level where we can understand that we are eternal soul, and our relationship with Krishna is eternal, just like we are the family of Krishna. Krishna is our father, Krishna is our mother. So Krishna is everything. Krishna is everything. So then we are all part and parcel of Krishna. We are all supposed to be with Krishna. We are supposed to be a big happy family with Krishna. But then we are not really in intelligent mode right now. We have become deluded. And so then this is that we are having right now, that how we are not interested in the eternal dharma, but eternal life. We are only preoccupied with the temporary life because we can't understand the eternal life. We are only seeing the temporary life. So we are also getting misguided. That is why Bhagavad Gita is there to bring us back into the proper consciousness. Okay. So this is chapter 15, Yoga of the Supreme Person. Who would like to start with this?
Can I do, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Urdhvamoolamadasyakam Ashwattam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and its branch down, and its whole leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Thank you.
So you can see here, this is the spiritual world up there. Brahma is here. He's also in the material world. He's the topmost material world. And we are all living entities and entangled in the material world. All right. And then, so we are here and the actual spiritual world is here. But actually, it looks like the material world is bigger than the spiritual world. But in actual fact, the material world is 1/4. Spiritual world is 3/4 of the whole, whole creation. So, but just to show you that we are all entangled. The cow is entangled, we are entangled, animals are entangled, everyone is entangled here. Brahma is the creator of this material world, this material universe. There are millions of universe and millions of Brahmas. So each Brahma is in charge of one universe. This Brahma, four-headed Brahma, is in charge of our universe. Here you can see the tree and the mountain. And here you can see that there is the reflection. Now this reflection is look like real. We are here. We don't know actually that this reflection is a reflection of the spiritual world. We are in the unreal world. So that's why Krishna said, it's the imperishable banyan tree, the roots upward and branches down. When you look at the banyan tree, you say, hey, why the roots are up there and the branches are down? It's incredible. But actually it is a special tree. And leaves are the Vedic hymns. The leaves are the ones that will Vedic hymns that will bring us to our understanding. Okay, we'll proceed and then I'll explain a bit more. Here you have the banyan tree, right? The leaves are like the Vedic hymn. Krishna says the branches are nourished by the three modes of material nature. Okay, the branches are like three modes of material nature. And then the fruits are the result of the activity. Whatever the fruit the tree gives is like what we do, we get the fruit. The twigs are the sense objects. And the roots are bound to the fruitive activity. These roots are bound to our karmic activity. So this is, Krishna is trying to explain in a way that to try and make us understand that we are in the temporary world. Nourishment of the tree. As the tree is nourished by water, so the tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature. Sometimes we find that the tract of land is barren for want of sufficient water. And sometimes the tract is very green. Similarly, the particular modes of material nature are proportionally greater in quantity. The different species of life are manifested accordingly. So here we have a dry place. Not many animals will find here. But here you have a lot of greenery, water, and all that. So here you will have a lot of activity. So where similarly, where the material modes of nature are greater in quantity, so more species of life you can find here. Okay, less species of life you find in this place. Okay, so 15 point. Actually, can you read from Bhagavad Gita 15.2?
Okay, sir. English, sir?
Yes.
Okay. The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by three modes of material nature. The twigs are the object of the senses. The tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. Thank you.
Thank you. Sana, can you read this?
Yes, Prabhuji. Narupam asyaha tato kalabhyate nanto no chadir no cha sampratishta asvartam enam suviruddha mulam asariga sastrena dradena chitta tada tada padam tat parimar kitavyaha Yasmin kadano nivartanti bhuya tam eva chatyam purusham prapadye yata pravarti prastra purani. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. Yeah, thank you.
So this tree, when we are in the material world, we cannot understand. How do we understand? We understand with Bhagavad Gita. We understand with the instructions of Gita. So that's how we understand that we are in this material world, we are all entangled, and there's a spiritual world, and you have to become detached from this material world with the weapon of detachment. And what is the weapon of detachment? Can you all tell me what is the weapon of detachment? Which weapon do we use to cut down this tree? Try.
Learn spiritual learning.
Okay,
I don't know.
spiritual learning. Okay, like
Spiritual
Gita.
learning.
Okay, some more. Some more. Others also, please try. How do we get detached from this material world? What is the weapons? What are the weapons? There are more than one weapon. What is the weapon?
You mean meditation, service to the God?
Meditation. How? What are meditation?
Chanting?
Chanting meditation. Yes. Some more. So we have two
By
answers
giving,
so far. Hmm?
I don't know, something is wrong with my phone.
You can't hear.
My phone, I can't get the screen.
But I can hear you now.
Yeah, it is if we give up our desires.
What are our desires? Our desire to love Krishna.
Yeah, our desire to love Krishna, and also like we must give up the bad desires we have in of us, like for fruitive activities?
So we don't give up the desire to love Krishna. We give up material desire, right?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Okay. And then that's correct. Some more. What else? Anyway, doing devotional service to Krishna, doing the 9 processes of devotional service, right? You all know that. So this is the weapon. Okay. So you cut down the tree with the weapon of attachment to the spiritual world. You get detached from the material world. Aham sarvasa prabhava. I am the origin of everyone, everything. Therefore, to get out of the entanglement of this strong banyan tree of life, one must surrender to Krishna. As soon as one surrenders unto Krishna, one becomes detached automatically from this material extension. So the idea is you surrender to Krishna and Krishna will help you. There is no doubt about it. He will help you come to him. Okay?
Prabhuji, when you say surrender, what do you mean by that?
That means you have full faith in Krishna and you listen to his instructions, follow his instructions, and not deviate.
You mean like a follower?
Yes, like a follower and full faith. You know that he is going. You know, like a baby. There is full faith in the mother, whatever it is, right? The baby, she will have full faith in the mother because she is helpless. We are also helpless. We should have full faith in Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, huh? Who would like to read this? How we do that?
Okay, I can read, Prabhuji.
1 minute. Let me check first. Huh? Okay, you read, Mataji, you read 5. And 6. And then you read this.
Okay. 15.5. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. 15.6, that supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Yet one has to find out the cause. I am the son of my father. My father is the son of such and such a person, etc. By searching in this way, one comes to Brahma, who is generated by the Garbhodaka, say Vishnu. Finally, in this way, when one reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the end of research work. One has to search out that origin of this tree, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through the association of persons who are in knowledge of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then by understanding, one becomes gradually detached from this false reflection of reality, and by knowledge one can cut off the connection and actually become situated in the real tree. Thank you.
So 5. These are the qualities. You must be freed from false prestige. You must be free from illusion. and false association. That means you don't get entangled by all these materialistic people's association. And you understand the eternal, which is your soul, and you do not want any material lust. Lust doesn't mean sex only, it means also attachment to material things. Who are free from the dualities of happiness and distress, because the happiness and distress is from the body, bodily concept. We are spirit soul. And who unbewildered know how to surrender unto the supreme, attain to the eternal kingdom. So that's the surrender we do. We have to have these qualities to be able to surrender. And then Krishna is speaking about his spiritual world. There's no sun or moon, no fire or electricity. It is actually lighted on its own. And if you go to that, you never come back to this material world. So you just have to reach the place. We fell down and we make a mistake. Now when we go back, we will never fall down again. I've told you before, right? This why we won't fall down again. Anyone? All of you can remember, or you all have forgotten? Some of you have forgotten. Why is once we fell down from the spiritual world, and then we are here, we make mistakes, we ran away from our father, and then now we go back to the spiritual world. Is there a chance again we will make the same mistake? Krishna says no. But why does Krishna say no?
Because of realization.
Because of realization. Any other answer?
If we surrender to Krishna, then he takes care of us. That's why he said.
But then last time we were with Krishna and we didn't surrender, so we fell down. Then if we go back to the spiritual world, maybe we get tired of Krishna again and we run away and we fall down again now. We fell down before, mistakes we can do again and again, right? But why Krishna is saying you will never make the mistake again?
Because we'll completely trust him,
Okay,
like Arjuna.
the acharyas have given this example. They say if you have a child and the child hasn't seen fire before, and you tell a child, don't be near the fire, it burns. And the child doesn't believe. So he went and put his hand near the fire and it burned him. And after that he realizes, oh, this fire really burns. I will not come near the fire. So he understands. So we never came to the material world, and then we thought, no, it's all right. The material world is fine. And we come to this material world, and then we go through so much pain and suffering and so many lifetimes. When we finally reach the spiritual world, we will remember all our lifetimes in the material world, and we say, sorry, we don't want to go back. We already realized that the material world is not really a good place. Like the fire is dangerous, so a material world is not good. So in this way, when we go back spiritual world, we will remember all our lives in the material world. And we say, sorry, we don't want to go back. So in that way, you will never come down again. The Acharyas has explained that way.
So we can say it's a learning experience, right? You experience it.
Yeah. You see, Confucius says, fools learn from their own mistakes, wise men learn from others' mistakes. So in a way, actually, 3/4 of the living entities are in the spiritual world. Most of them they understood even though they did not make that mistake. They understand from the people who have gone there and come back. You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we are the unfortunate 1/4 lah. What to do? Our life is like that. Okay. So the idea is don't keep on coming back to this material world to go back to spiritual world. So when we go back also, they will listen to us. Oh, really, this material world is very bad. We are not going to make this mistake. So they won't make the mistake. But we already understood. In a way, it's a learning process for us. It's also a learning process for them. But they didn't go through the suffering, we went through the suffering. Like you learn from somebody, oh, be careful, because you go this place, there are a lot of thieves, they will steal. So basically, we thought, no, it's okay, it won't happen to us. We go there and someone robbed us. Then we come out, we say, oh, really? Well, many people say, oh, this is a dangerous place. No, we don't want to go there. Otherwise, we get robbed. You understand, huh? So now, you have to find the real cause. I'm the son of my father. My father is Krishna. By searching this way, you will first come to Brahma, because you know Brahma is the controller. And Brahma came from Garbhodakshai Vishnu through the lotus flower. So this is the explanation. We don't know, but Brahma is speaking to us, and in the way of Brahma Samhita also. He's telling us about a lot of spiritual things. You read the Brahma Samhita, he has a lot of things he's saying also. And you search the origin of the tree through the association of people who have knowledge of the Supreme Person. Through the who are those who have knowledge? Devotees of Krishna. They are in knowledge. So you seek their association and you learn through them. Then you get gradually detached by association with devotees, eating prasadam, doing deity worship, chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita. Then you will cut off the connection and actually be situated in the real truth. Excuse me, I got a little bit of throat pain. Please excuse my voice today. You see, one day, Brahma went to see Krishna. So he went to the gatekeepers. And he said, I want to see Krishna. And then the gatekeepers went to Krishna. Say, Krishna, Brahma is here to see you. Then Krishna said, ask him, which Brahma are you? So the gatekeepers went to Brahma and said, which Brahma are you? He said, what do you mean which Brahma I am? I'm the four-headed Brahma. So anyway, the gatekeepers went and told Krishna, this is the four-headed Brahma. Okay, let him in. So then Brahma came to see Krishna. And then he said, Krishna, I got a question. Hey, what's your question, Krishna asked. You say, which Brahma am I? Are there other Brahmas beside me? And then Krishna just nod his head, and you will see millions of Brahmas. Some got 10 heads, some got 100 heads, some got 1,000 heads, some got 12 heads. And then Brahma is looking at all of them. He said, wow, so many Brahmas. And then they all pay respect to Krishna and they left. So all the Brahmas could not see any other Brahma. They could only see Krishna, they pay the respect and they left. But the four-headed Brahma could see Krishna and the other Brahma. Krishna was explaining, or rather showing to Brahma, Brahma, there are so many Brahmas. You are not the only Brahma. So don't be too proud of yourself. And you are a four-headed Brahma. Other Brahmas got so many more heads. They are more intelligent. So in this way, this is a pastime. Krishna sometimes he makes Brahma become humble for his good. You know, otherwise the Brahma become proud. I am the creator of this universe. There are bigger universes than us. Our universe is one of the smallest. Okay, Krishna Kumari.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Um, Mamai Vamso Jiva Loka
You
Jiva
want me to
Bhuta.
you want me to help you? You sing with me, okay?
Okay, okay.
Okay. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke
Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke
Jiva Bhuta Sanatana
Jiva Bhuta Sanatana
Manasastanindriyani
Manasastanindriyani
Praktirstani Karsati
Prakti Stani Karsati. The living entities in this conditioned
Speak louder.
world, the living entities in this conditioned world are my my eternal eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You read later. So you read this also, Mataji. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Louder, please. Sariyam Yadvanapnoti
Sariram Yat Avapnoti
Yachapi Utkramati Swaraha
Yachapi Uktra Matishwara
Rit Vaitani Samyati
Grit Vaitani Samyati
Ayur Gandham Ivasayat
Vayurgandan Ivasayat
Sotam Chaksus Prasanam
Srotram Chaksusparsanam
Charasanam Granam Devacha
Sarasanam Grenam Evacha
Adistaya Manaschayam
Adistaya Manaschayam
Visayan Upasevate
Visayan Upasevate. The living entities in the material world carries its different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. This he takes one kind of a body and again quite into take another. The living entities this taking another gross body obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He does enjoy a particular sense of a sense objectives. Sense objects.
So
Thank you, Prabhuji.
we have here the senses. Here we have the mind. Here we have the intellect. And then we have the Atma. So here, if the Atma can control the intellect can control the mind can control the senses. But if the Atma not control the intellect, the buddhi, intelligence, and the intelligence don't control the mind, the senses will go wild. And then they will never reach their destination. So in this way, the senses are useful to reach the destination of the spiritual world, because when they are under the control of the mind, they will do the correct things and they will get detached. And the intelligence are controlling the mind, then the mind will do it correctly. Otherwise, the mind will become also crazy. And finally, the Atma is the one that is benefiting. So, the Atma is my eternal fragmental part and parcel of me. They are eternal. They never die. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. These five senses, and the mind is also under the senses. Okay. So the living entity in the material world carries a different, the subtle body. In his subtle body, he is carrying the different conception of his present life. When he goes, he dies, the soul carries a subtle body and takes another body. Whatever we do in this life, the material things we do, if we do it this way, in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, we will carry that mixture in our subtle body and get another life. If we are totally in ignorance, we will go back to animal body. If we have some intelligence, we will go to the human body. If we are in a mode of goodness, we may even take the Deva body. You know? So, but then if we become totally devotional, we don't take the subtle body, we throw it away and we go straight back to the spiritual world. So, in this way, this is how it works. In other words, a living entity adulterates his consciousness with the quality of cats and dogs. In his next life, he gets cat or dog. If he acts like a cat or a dog, that means don't care for any spiritual life, only caring about like cat and dog, animal. He'll get an animal body. 10, 11, 12, 13. Jayashri, please. 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, sir. 15.10. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity. Yes, sir.
Louder, please. Come nearer
Okay.
the mic.
Okay. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. 15.11. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose mind are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to. 15.12. The splendor of the sun. I cannot hear, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
The splendor of the sun,
No, you have to
which
read the
dissipates.
also. It's on the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just looking at the book only. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, you read here now.
Okay, sorry. Yad aditya gatam tejo jagad bhasyata khilam yak chandramasi yak chaknau tat tejo vidhi mamakam.
What happened to your tune? You had a very.
I,
I was
I
looking for your tune.
this is a bit, I don't know, sir. I didn't know how to put.
You can do it in the same tune. Anyway, you try. If not, you carry on.
Yes, sir. Okay. Gamma vishya cha bhutani धारायामि अहम ओजसा पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्व सोमो भूत्वा रसत्मक.
Read the first one also in the tune.
यदा यद आदित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासायतेऽखिलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चग्नौ tattejo vidimamakam. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of the whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me. I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Thank you.
Thank you, Mati. So here you can see Krishna, we go back to 10 and 11. The foolish, they cannot understand all this because they are not reading the Bhagavad Gita and they're not explained by Krishna, not explained, they are not attending class. So what they can do, they are all getting bewildered. Totally, they don't know anything, not much. So he enjoys under the spell of nature. He thinks this material world is all in all. But if you are trained, you have idea, you are trained by someone, you can see all this. And the person who is wanting to understand all this are called transcendentalists. And they are trying to understand who am I, why am I here, where I'm supposed to go. So this is called self-realization. Once you get self-realization, you understand. And your mind, but if your mind is not developed and not situated in self-realization, you cannot see all this. Although you may try, but if you don't get your proper training, you will not come to the correct understanding. So here again we have 12. Krishna is saying, all the universes actually, I am the one, because of my desire, they are following the correct. The sun also is due to me, and the which carries of the darkness also comes from me, and the moon is also coming from me. Beauty of the moon. The fire is also coming from me. You know, fire can be your enemy and can be your friend also. Enemy, you can burn your house down. Friend, you can cook a nice food for Krishna, right? The fire can keep you warm. The fire can also burn all the rubbish. So much rubbish we have. We have to put them in the incinerator and burn it up. That's a fire. Otherwise, where are you going to keep the rubbish? Some places don't have place to dump. No more place. So they have to burn it. So I enter into each planet. How he enters? Because actually the material world is the inferior energy of Krishna. He enters that way. All are from him only. And by my energy, they stay in orbit. I become the moon and therefore supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Basically, in the night, the plants grow. In the daytime, they synthesize from the sun. They get the nutrients. And in the night, they use the nutrients to grow. Basically, growth is in the night. So that's how he said how the vegetables all grow at night. Someone can read 14 and 15, Tana.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you read that like how Mataji sang or some other thing? You all should try and sing, make it more nice.
Okay, sing means I need your guidance, Prabhuji.
Otherwise, you want, I will come, I do with you, then you just follow.
Okay, but first you want me to read 14, is it?
Yeah, 14 and 15 too.
Okay.
I will read the Sanskrit. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva
Praninam Deham Asrita
Praninam Deham Asrita
Anapana Samakyukta
Pranapana Samayukta
Achami Anam Chaturvidham.
Pachami Annam Chaturvidam.
Yeah, it sounds nicer, you know. Next time
Okay.
when you give class, you also can give class like this. You must train yourself to give class also. It's not that I give class and you never give. You also slowly, when you become experienced, you also can start giving. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. So now I read text 14.
No, you read the English first.
15.14. Okay. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuff.
You need help or can you sing with this?
Okay, let me try. Yeah? Sarvasya jaham hridi sanivisto mata smritir jnanam apohananam cha vedaischa sarvai aha eva vidyo vedanta krit vedavid eva jaham.
Very good.
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so here Krishna is saying, I am the fire, because he is the one that actually makes our body move. And he puts the Atma in it, and he sits down as the Paramatma. Paramatma, you know. In everyone's heart, there is Krishna as the Paramatma. Our Atma is there, Krishna. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. If Krishna wants you to forget something, like your past life, he makes you forget. And you help you remember, he will help you remember. At the time of death, if you have been chanting nicely and praying nicely, at the time of death, he'll give you the remembrance of him. You know? And also when you have the desire to actually come to closer to Krishna, he'll give you the knowledge. So these 3 things which are very important, remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness, Krishna is helping us so that we can actually go back to the spiritual world. We don't get distracted by our past life. Now this life, we go forward. We try and forget. We try and forget concept. Don't get into another cycle of birth, and we get out of it. By all Vedas, I am to be known. The Vedas is the one he helps. Written, Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Bhagavatam, all these Krishna is helping. He is to be known. When you read this, you will know him. I am the compiler of the Vedanta. I am the one who wrote the Vedas. And I also know what the Vedas are speaking all about. So basically, you are supposed to read and know. Okay? Okay, 16, 17, 18. Manju.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, 16.
16, 17, 18.
There are 2 classes of being, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. 17, 15.17. Besides these 2, there are the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them.
Okay, now 15, 18. Can you sing?
Trying.
Okay.
I have to see the Sanskrit. Okay. Yasmat kasham atito aham aksharata kotamaha ato asmin loke vedacha pratitha Tamaha. Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So these three verses are very, very important for you to understand. Let's go back. There are two classes of people, the fallible and infallible. Who are the fallible? Who are the fallible? Fallible, you understand the meaning of fallible? Can fall down. Who are they?
People who are in the material world,
Yes, very good. And the infallible, who are they?
spiritual.
Those who
Spiritual
never
world,
fell down
total
in the
world.
material world. And also those who have come out from the material world into the spiritual, they have become infallible. You understand? So the infallible is some who never gone to the material world. Also those who went to the material world and they got out of it, then they become infallible. Okay? In this material world, everyone is fallible. And spiritual one, you are called infallible. So besides these two, there is me, Krishna. I am the greatest living personality. I am never be able to be imperishable. We are also imperishable, but he is the first imperishable from whom we all emanated, and we are part and parcel of him. So then I am the three in the imperishable Lord who has entered the three worlds, is maintaining them. He is maintaining the material world because he cannot destroy us. We are all his children. So we don't want to be with him, he put us in the material. Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and infallible. I am above. I am the supreme. Because I am the greatest. I am celebrated both in this world and in the Vedas as a supreme person. In this world also, if you become intelligent, you understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Krishna very clearly says, I am celebrated, I am the greatest. So no one is greater than Krishna. Okay? Okay, Krishna Kumari.
So I think she has
Or left.
left. She says she has some other class. Yeah.
Okay, then we will come Yashri.
Okay, sir.
19 and 20 both. Huh?
Okay, sir. Yomam evam asammuddho janati purushottamam sasarvavid bhajatimam sarva bhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional services to me, O son of Bharata.
Okay. 20? 20,
20.
I think we have here. Right? Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Iti guhyatamam shastram idam uktam maya nagha etat buddva buddhimansya sorry etat buddva buddhiman
Yeah.
syat karta kartasya cha bharata.
It's actually Kirta. Kirta, Kirtyas, Jabar.
Kirta 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 kirtasya bharata. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it's disclosed now by me. Whoever, whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. So you see, this chapter is very small, only 20 verses. But so much knowledge, so precise and concise. So whoever knows me as a supreme Godhead, without doubting. Just now I did say, right? Total trust in Krishna without doubting. Is the know of everything you know. Like here, Prabhupada, he knows Krishna is the supreme and he never doubted that. So whatever it is, he came and he preached without deviation. He never said, okay, in the Western country, let's do a mixture of the pure Vedic science. We mix it a bit because people are so materialistic. No, he followed as it is, Gita as it is, and he preached, and they became very first-class devotees. They never deviate. People come when the truth is spoken. People come and they follow. All right, and then this is the most confidential part of the Vedic picture: how the material world, spiritual world, fallible, infallible, all these what has spoken, all now disclosed by me. And if you understand this, you will definitely follow. When you follow, definitely you will get perfection. So Alanath is another story. I will give this story next week, okay? So if you need Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then okay. So any question? Any question on today's class?